The foundation of Hellenic World has a mission to combine technology and education to share and preserve the rich heritage and culture of Greece. Today, it holds the XR Global Summit, and Mr. Δημήτρης Εφραίμογλου and Δημήτρης Χριστόπουλος are going to talk about what we can expect from the foundation of Hellenic World in terms of technology. Please welcome them.
Well, hello again. Let's take a historically accurate stroll down the streets of an ancient city. I'm back at the podium to present our innovative use of three-dimensional representations and virtual reality and show you how it's not just games. So, through increasingly sophisticated virtual reality technologies and the committed work and research of 3D modelers, archaeologists and historians, we create original programs to bring life historical cities. The ancient Greek city of Miletos, on the western coast of Asia Minor that we see on the screen, the birthplace of Thalys and Anaximandros, was the first city that we virtually reconstructed. Several other notable cities followed, as the ancient city of Priene, also in Asia Minor, the Athenian Agora and the Acropolis, ancient Olympia, Delphi, and more. Our first representation started using web-based VRML and XML technologies, QuickTime VR panoramas for 360 degrees counted tours of reconstructed ancient cities. Currently, we have 360 degrees tour of ancient Olympia, ancient Priene, and from our virtual reality shows, but also several tours from our real exhibitions. And more are still in the making. Nevertheless, the usage of VR technology allowed us to make the next step and start immersing our visitors into these ancient cities. Some of these cities no longer exist, but are accessible to us through technology. At Tholos, our large-format virtual reality theater, the audience will explore a historically accurate live rendering of cities and sites through an immersive educational experience. Our approach works both for tangible and intangible objects, like, for example, you can recreate a theater in ancient Miletos or a temple in Priene, the same way you can recreate the ritual of asking a prophecy at the Trophonius oracle. Imagine a storytelling experience inspired from daily life in classical Athens, following the activities of an Athenian family, or visit the magnificent Hagia Sophia temple in Constantinople. In other words, through virtual or extended reality, you can travel back in time and partake in everyday life experience in antiquity. We also use HoloLens and other HMDs in order to create fun and educational experience like our virtual sculpting program or the Phidias workshop, where you help the renowned sculptor Phidias to create one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the statue of Zeus in Olympia. Our latest goal is to create a treasure hunt-like program game inspired by the myth of Theseus and the Minotaur. We have set up an ultra-modular space that we can accommodate up to 8 visitors on 5 different playgrounds, 33 different combination of spaces. Using the latest VR technology, HTC Focus 3 HMDs, and totally free to move around, players can interact with their partners, communicate with them, and move together on a whole surface and choose to participate in collaborative experiences like no other. New technologies help us make culture accessible to people with disabilities. Smart Subs, our new project that we're working on, will improve the existing know-how and applications of language recognition and sentence tagging in order to develop an application which will allow subtitles to be displayed on smart glasses in theatrical performances and other live activities. The benefits of immersive XR technologies are countless and will be further described through the case study of our Bridges project by my colleague Δημήτρης Χριστόπουλος. Thank you very much. Dimitris, the floor is yours.
As you saw, the foundation is trying to use VR, XR, AR technologies for projecting cultural heritage and education. And as the previous keynotes showed, that it's really important for XR. So thank you, Elvin, thank you, Amy, for making us feel a bit more proud today for our work. I would like to present you our latest effort briefly in creating a multisensory XR experience for culture and education. The experience that I will present is part of the Bridges EU project. Bridges is a two-year horizon-based EU project that concludes the summer. And with a large variety of EU partners, as you can see, we have partners in academia, National Kapodistrian University of Athens, Technical University of Vienna. We have industry partners, Illusion Walk from Germany, Bolt Virtual from Athens, and Maioli and FSD, which are Italian-based companies. And we also have stakeholders, which is the Foundation of the Hellenic World, and the two airports, Athens Airport and Berlin Airport. So the target of this project was pretty ambitious. Our mission was to democratize XR. So at least this was what I understood I was doing the last 2 years. And as poetic as it may sound, we wanted to create a low-cost, multi-user platform that lowers the threshold for adoption for location-based XR experiences. So 2 pilots were created for evaluation. The first in the context of informal learning, which is hosted here in the Hellenic Cosmos, and the second one in the context of first responder training for firefighters, as you can see on the right, which is hosted in Athens and the Berlin airports. Here I will present briefly the informal learning XR experience. So for the learning case, we created a guided storytelling XR experience for multiple users that allows them to visit an ancient Athenian house. So we transformed the physical room that you see on the left to an ancient house that you can see on the right. And as you note that it's a pretty large room. It's not a 3x3, the standard that the headsets support. It's a 120 square meters room with furniture, with columns. So it's a pretty difficult space to map and to create an experience within. And we created a house that is historically accurate, of course, and we not show only the house and its rooms, but we also show how the ancient Athenians live. Now, in order to transform the aforementioned space into the virtual Athenian house, we must have a one-to-one relationship because you actually can move through the space. And so to prepare the room, a pipeline was followed. The room was equipped with markers, as you can see in the second image. The room afterwards was then photogrammetrically scanned by an automated robot. You can see it there, which created the 3D representation of the room. And these markers are pretty important because they're not only used for 3D reconstruction of the room, but they also allow the user tracking that we'll see later on. So regarding what the XR platform supports, it supports HMDs and backpack PCs. We use local rendering for minimizing latency. It supports multiple players that are co-located, so they're all in the same space, and they can actually walk in this same physical space. We have optical tracking and finger tracking, so no controllers. For interaction, we use the Ultraleap device for this. You can see it on the headset. Custom technology was used to perform the actual tracking. We have three tracking sources: the optical tracking, which comes from the camera on the headset. We have the inside-out tracking, which results from the HMD, and we also have the body tracking that results from the Ultraleap. All these three sources are combined to create an accurate 3D location of the user. We support object tracking through the same tracking mechanism. Here you can see the users holding a vase, and inside the experience there's a twin. They see an actual 3D vase that they are holding. And we also have haptics for free because most of the walls and furniture in virtual reality exist also in the real space, so users can touch them. And the experience also targets multiple senses because we have smell and wind. So as you enter the kitchen, for example, you smell it, and as you go to the balcony, you can feel the wind. And I want to point out that this solution is easily scalable. We can scale it to any room size we want just by putting up more markers in the ceiling. I've prepared a small video to show you the experience. This experience the video was taken during our evaluation tests, and I will try to comment on the video. As I said previously, backpack PCs were used. The users also have microphones, so they also share the same audio. Each user represents an avatar, and as you can see, they walk through the space, and they can grab objects by hand gestures, and they also interact with NPCs. At various points, they also have interactions, so here they paint a vase. And they explore essentially the space together, and we see all these social interactions that we normally see when you're in the real space. The NPCs, the characters there, guide them through the house, so they learn also about ancient Greece. And they also vote, so they can choose at various stages what they want to do. Here they vote about what they want to eat. And we also have a virtual ladder. So climbing for the first time a virtual ladder is pretty demanding, so you must do the leap of faith. You can see it here. It's quite difficult for them at the first time. And we use smell. When they enter the kitchen, we have a dust spray where you can smell what you want to eat. The immersiveness we saw in the trials was pretty high. You can see here the subtitles, what they said in Greek. So the immersiveness was pretty high, and we have the really good positive feedback. Many users were astounded, and it was pretty natural for them to interact. So you can see that this person is really odd. Here's the vase, the haptic vase that we use. You can see the tracking device on top, and inside the experience we have them do some rituals. So to learn how the ancient Greeks performed their daily life, they had, of course, rituals, and it was a really big part for them. So here they do a ritual towards the goddess Athena, for example. Everyone handled the vase very well, so you can see the vase was passed from one user to another, no problem. And here you can see the prayer to goddess Athena. So we all did this in order to immerse them even more into how an ancient person back in the time lived. And she places it onto a virtual table. Of course, we have also virtual objects. Here you can see the interaction using virtual objects just by picking them. And here we outfit a warrior to go to war. We had good feedback about all these interactions. And to conclude, currently the platform is in user testing. We do formative evaluations, and the project concludes in June. The public opening is still to be decided, and exploitation, but we are pretty excited because we got so much great feedback. So we are pretty excited to offer this solution to the public. And the project has proven actually that the demanding XR setup can be used and entertainment and in culture. Thank you. I forgot to mention that our partners that are here are the National Kapodistran University of Athens, they're right here, and both virtual. Thank you guys, it was an amazing 2 years with you. Thank you for your great work.